Maya Thompson woke up early that morning. The sun had just begun to rise, sending soft light through her bedroom window. She stretched her arms and took a deep breath. Today was an important day. After many years of hard work, Maya was ready to make a big announcement at her bank, Unity Bank. She was the CEO, the person in charge. It was not easy to become a CEO, especially for a black woman in a world where few women, and even fewer black women, held such jobs. But Maya had never given up. She had worked hard, believed in herself, and now her bank was growing fast. Maya got out of bed and looked in the mirror. Her brown eyes looked bright, and her smile was soft but confident. She picked out her best suit, a simple blue jacket and skirt, and put it on carefully. She wanted to look professional and strong. Today, she was going to talk to the board of directors about a new deal that could bring the bank even more money and new customers. This deal could change everything. After breakfast, Maya left her home and drove to the bank. The streets were busy with people going to work. She thought about all the people who trusted Unity Bank with their money. She thought about her employees who worked day and night. She felt proud but also nervous. When Maya arrived at the bank, the building looked tall and shiny in the morning light. People were walking in and out, some with bags, others on their phones. She smiled at the security guard at the entrance. He nodded back. Maya walked through the large glass doors into the bank's lobby. The lobby was bright and clean. It had big plants and shiny floors. Customers waited in line, talking softly. The air smelled like fresh coffee and paper. Suddenly, two security guards came toward Maya quickly. One of them looked at her with a serious face. "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but you need to leave the building immediately," he said. Maya stopped. "What? Why? I'm the CEO. I work here." The other guard crossed his arms and said, "Please step outside now. This is bank policy." Maya's heart began to beat faster. She looked around. Some customers were watching, whispering. She felt confused and embarrassed. She tried to explain, "I have a meeting with the board in 10 minutes. I need to be here." But the guards did not listen. They motioned for her to leave. Maya felt cold inside. She took a deep breath and walked out, her head held high but her eyes filled with shock. Outside the bank, Maya stood alone on the sidewalk. The bright sun felt too strong, and the noise of the city sounded loud and harsh. She pulled out her phone and saw many missed calls and messages from her assistant. Her hands were shaking. What is going on, she thought. She called her assistant, Sam, right away. "Sam, what is happening? Why did security stop me?" Maya asked quietly. Sam's voice was serious. "Maya, you need to sit down. Something very bad happened. Someone stole $3 billion from the bank's deposits overnight. The board called a meeting to discuss it, but they're blaming you." Maya's mind raced. $3 billion was a huge amount more money than she had ever seen. How could it disappear so fast? And why was she being blamed? Her phone buzzed again. This time it was a news alert. The headline read, "Unity Bank faces crisis as $3 billion vanishes overnight." Photos of the bank and Maya appeared. Some comments were unfair and cruel. Maya felt tears in her eyes but blinked them away. She was angry, yes, but also determined. She had spent years building this bank, and she was not going to let it fall apart without a fight. Maya's mind went back to the moment inside the bank. Why had the guards treated her like a stranger, or worse? Was it because she was a black woman? She remembered stories she had heard from other women like her, stories of unfair treatment, of being judged by their skin color instead of their work. But Maya was not going to give up. She wiped her face, took a deep breath, and made a decision. She would find out the truth. She would fix this. And she would show everyone that she was a leader, no matter what. The city around her moved quickly, but Maya felt still inside. This was just the beginning of a long and hard day. After the shock outside the bank, Maya sat quietly in her car. The city moved around her, but she felt frozen in time. Her mind was full of questions, and the weight on her chest made it hard to breathe. How could $3 billion disappear so fast? How was her bank, the one she had worked so hard to build, suddenly in danger? And why was she treated like a criminal by her own security? Her phone kept buzzing in her hand. Messages and calls from employees, investors, customers, and even strangers poured in. Many were worried. Some were angry. Some did not believe her. Maya's heart sank deeper with every notification. She finally answered a call from her assistant, Sam. "Maya, the board is meeting now," Sam said quietly. "They want you there immediately." "But, things are tense." Maya nodded, though Sam could not see her. "I'm coming." She left her car and walked toward the bank. Inside, the air felt thick with fear and confusion. People whispered behind closed doors. The usual bright energy of the office was replaced with silence and cold looks. Maya's steps echoed as she walked down the hallway. She saw her team gathered in small groups. Some looked at her with hope, others with doubt. The trust she had built seemed fragile now. At the conference room door, the security guards blocked her way again. "You can't go in," one of them said. Maya's heart pounded. She tried to stay calm. "I am the CEO," she said firmly. "I have every right to be there." But the guards only shook their heads and stepped aside for a man she did not recognize. He was dressed in a dark suit and looked serious. Maya felt a chill. The man gave the guards a nod and entered the room without saying a word to her. Maya hesitated for a moment, then followed. Inside the room, the board members sat around a long table. Their faces were grave and tired. Some avoided looking at her directly. The air smelled of coffee and tension. The chairman, a gray-haired man named Mr. Collins, stood up when he saw Maya. "Maya," he said, "thank you for coming. We are in a very difficult situation." Maya sat down and nodded. "I understand. But please, tell me what is happening. I want to help." Mr. Collins took a deep breath. "Last night, someone stole $3 billion from our accounts. It happened after hours. Our security systems were breached. We are still trying to find out how." Maya's mind raced. How is that possible? We have the best technology. Who would do this? The board members looked at each other. Finally, Mr. Collins spoke again. "We don't know yet. But we need to find answers fast. Investors are nervous, customers are scared, and the media is already reporting the story." Maya felt a burning anger rise inside her. "We will find the person responsible. But please do not blame me. I have worked hard to protect this bank." Mr. Collins sighed. "No one is blaming you, Maya. But as the CEO, the responsibility is yours." Maya clenched her fists under the table. She knew this was true, but it still hurt. She had always carried her duties with pride, but now she felt alone. After the meeting, Maya walked through the hallways. She passed the customer service desks where workers whispered nervously. She saw faces full of worry and fear. The bank was not just a building, it was a place where people trusted their money and their futures. She went to her office, closed the door, and sat down. For a moment, she let the tears come. The pain was real. She felt betrayed, not just by the unknown thief, but by the doubts around her. But then, she wiped her tears and stood up. This was not the time to fall apart. Maya picked up her phone and called the head of the technology team, Nina. "Nina, I need you and your team to work with me," Maya said firmly. We must find out who did this, and how. No matter what it takes. Nina's voice was strong. We are already on it, Maya. We will not let this go. Over the next few hours, Maya stayed in the bank, working with the team. She studied reports, asked questions, and listened to experts. She learned that the attack was very smart and careful. The thief knew the system well and had planned for months. Maya also felt the sting of unfair words. Some people outside the bank said she was careless. Some even suggested she did not deserve her job. But Maya pushed those thoughts away. She focused on the truth and the work ahead. That evening, as the sun began to set, Maya stepped outside again. The city lights were turning on, and the streets were busy once more. She looked up at the tall buildings and thought about her journey. She remembered how hard she had worked to get here. The long nights, the sacrifices, the moments when people told her she could not succeed. She thought about her family, her friends, and her dreams. Maya made a promise to herself. No matter what happened, she would fight for her bank and her team. She would prove that she was not just a CEO, but a leader who could rise even in the darkest storms. As she walked back inside, Maya knew the road ahead would be hard. But she was ready. The whispers in the hallway were still there, but so was Maya's courage. The next morning, Maya arrived at the bank earlier than usual. The city was waking up slowly, but inside Unity Bank, the atmosphere was already tense. Maya could feel the weight of the crisis hanging in the air like a heavy fog. She walked through the lobby, her eyes meeting those of employees who nodded quietly or gave weak smiles. Everyone was scared and uncertain. The bank was their workplace, but it was also their community. Now, everything felt fragile. Maya went straight to the conference room where the investigation team had set up their equipment. Computers and screens covered the long table. The bank's best tech experts were already there, working hard to find answers. Nina, the head of the technology team, looked up as Maya entered. "Good morning, Maya. We have some initial reports," she said, pointing at a screen. Maya nodded and sat down. "Tell me everything." Nina began to explain in simple words. "Last night, the thieves used a type of attack called a phishing scam. It means they tricked some employees into giving away passwords and access codes. Then, they used that information to move money from our accounts." Maya frowned. "But how did they get past all the security systems? We have many protections." Nina sighed. "They were careful. They waited for moments when the system was less watched, like late at night. And they covered their tracks very well. This was planned for a long time." Maya's mind raced. She thought about the people who trusted the bank with their savings, the families saving for college, small businesses paying their workers, and many others. All their money was now at risk. "We must find out who did this," Maya said firmly. "And we must protect our customers." Nina nodded. "We are also looking for any signs of someone inside the bank who might have helped. This kind of attack usually needs someone with inside knowledge." Maya's heart sank. Could someone she trusted be involved? She stood up and looked around the room. "Keep me updated every hour. I want to know everything." The team worked quickly, but the hours passed slowly. Maya went from one department to another, speaking with employees, calming fears, and answering questions. She wanted them to know that she was there with them. At midday, Maya met with her assistant, Sam, in her office. Sam was tired but alert. "Sam, do you think anyone here could have helped the attackers?" Maya asked quietly. Sam shook his head. "I don't want to believe it, but some people have been acting strange. Avoiding eye contact, changing their schedules." Maya's face tightened. "We need to look carefully. We can't let this destroy the bank." Later in the afternoon, Maya called a meeting with the senior managers. She spoke clearly and calmly. We are facing one of the biggest challenges in our history, she said. But we will get through this. I ask each of you to support your teams and work closely with the investigation. We must be honest, transparent, and strong. Some managers nodded, others looked worried. Maya understood their fear but also knew they needed hope. After the meeting, Maya returned to her office. She sat by the window and looked outside. The city was busy, people walking, cars moving, life going on. She thought about how fragile trust could be and how important it was to rebuild it. Her phone rang. It was Mr. Harris, an old mentor who had guided her through difficult times before. Maya, I heard about the crisis, he said. I want you to know, I believe in you. You have the strength to lead through this. Maya smiled. Thank you, Mr. Harris. I need all the help I can get. He paused. Remember, your strength is not just in your success, but in how you rise from setbacks. Don't let this moment define you. Those words stayed with Maya. She realized she was not alone. Even in this storm, there were people who trusted her and wanted her to succeed. Back at the bank, the investigation team called Maya urgently. They had found something important. A series of emails sent from an employee's account showed suspicious activity. The employee had accessed secure areas of the system at strange times. Maya asked for the name. It was someone she had worked with closely for years. The shock hit her hard. Could it be true? Had someone betrayed the bank and her trust? She took a deep breath and told Nina to keep working on the evidence. We need proof before we act, Maya said. That evening, as the sky turned dark, Maya stayed late at the bank. She went through files, reports, and messages. She knew this was just the beginning of a long fight. She thought about the people depending on her, the employees, the customers, the community. She promised herself that she would not let them down. Outside, the city lights shone bright, but Maya felt a quiet storm inside. The bank was broken, but she was not. She was ready to fight for the truth, no matter where it led. And in that moment, she understood something deep and true: leadership was not about being perfect. It was about facing the hardest challenges with courage and heart. The days after the breach felt heavy and long for Maya. Every morning she arrived at the bank early, and every night she left late, her mind swirling with questions and worries. Yet, despite the exhaustion, Maya never stopped believing she could save the bank. But even with her determination, she sometimes felt very alone. One afternoon, Maya was sitting in her office, reviewing reports and emails, when her phone rang. It was an unexpected call from Mrs. Lewis, a community leader who had supported Unity Bank for years. Good afternoon, Maya, Mrs. Lewis said warmly. I want you to know that many people in the city believe in you. We are here to help. Maya felt a small smile rise on her face. Thank you, Mrs. Lewis. This means a lot. Mrs. Lewis continued, some of our local businesses have been affected by this. If you want, we can organize a meeting with them to show support and find ways to help everyone. Maya's heart lifted. That would be wonderful. Thank you. After the call, Maya felt a little less heavy. She knew the path ahead would be tough, but maybe she wasn't walking it alone. That same day, as she walked through the bank's hallways, Maya noticed something surprising. Employees who had been quiet and afraid before now approached her with hope in their eyes. Miss Thompson, said Rosa, a teller, we believe in you. We want to help fix this. Another employee, Mark, added, if you need anything, just ask. Maya nodded, feeling a wave of gratitude. These small acts of kindness reminded her why she loved this job and these people. Later, during a break, Sam, her assistant, brought some good news. We got a message from Mr. Harris, he said. He wants to meet with you tomorrow. Maya's eyes brightened. Mr. Harris had been her mentor for years. He always gave wise advice and helped her stay strong. The next morning, Maya met Mr. Harris at a small cafe near the bank. He greeted her with a warm smile. "Maya, you're doing great," he said. "I know it feels like the world is against you, but remember, storms pass." Maya sighed. "It's hard, Mr. Harris. The bank, the employees, the customers, they all need me to be strong. But sometimes, I feel so small." Mr. Harris reached across the table and placed a hand on hers. "That's normal. But don't forget you have more strength inside than you realize." He leaned in closer. "You also have unexpected allies. People who believe in you, even when things look bad. Trust them." Maya nodded slowly. She thought about Mrs. Lewis, the employees, Sam, and even strangers who had sent messages of support. As she left the cafe, Maya felt a new energy. She decided to call a meeting with the community leaders and business owners Mrs. Lewis had mentioned. They met in a small hall downtown, with chairs set up in a circle. Maya stood in the center and spoke honestly. "I know the last few days have been difficult. Many people are worried about their money and the future of Unity Bank. But I want you to know, we are fighting to make things right." The room was quiet, but then Mrs. Lewis spoke up. "Maya, your honesty and courage inspire us all. We are here to stand with you." One by one, others nodded and shared their stories of how Unity Bank had helped their families and businesses. Maya listened carefully and promised to keep working hard for the community. After the meeting, Maya felt lighter. The weight of the crisis was still there, but it was easier to carry with support. Back at the bank, Maya's team continued the investigation. Nina shared new findings. "We are closer to identifying the source of the breach. Some evidence points to an inside job." Maya took a deep breath. "We have to be careful. If someone on our team betrayed us, it will hurt deeply. But we must face the truth." That evening, Maya wrote a message to all employees. She thanked them for their hard work and honesty. She promised to be transparent and lead with integrity. The message was shared widely, and soon Maya received replies from employees thanking her for her trust and leadership. One message stood out. It was from Carlos, a quiet IT specialist. "Miss Thompson, I believe in you. I'm here to help in any way I can." Maya smiled and replied, "Thank you, Carlos. Together, we will get through this." In the days that followed, Maya's network of support grew. Local business owners, community leaders, employees, and even customers came together. They offered ideas, help, and hope. Maya realized that sometimes, when the world feels like it is falling apart, people come together in ways that surprise you. She remembered Mr. Harris's words, "Storms pass, and unexpected allies appear." Though the future was still uncertain, Maya knew one thing for sure: she was not alone. And with that, her courage grew stronger. The investigation was moving faster now. Maya and her team worked tirelessly, poring over every detail and every piece of information. The stolen $3 billion was not just a number anymore, it was a mystery waiting to be solved, a puzzle that had to be completed. Maya sat in her office one morning, staring at the screen. Nina had sent her a report overnight. The message was clear: someone inside the bank had been helping the thieves. Her heart pounded. She had hoped it wasn't true. But the facts could not be ignored. Maya called a meeting with the senior management and the investigation team. Everyone gathered in the conference room, the tension thick in the air. Nina spoke first. "We have traced the breach to a series of actions by an employee with access to secure files. The digital evidence points to several suspicious logins at unusual times." Maya nodded. "Do we know who?" A quiet voice from the back answered, "It's Jordan, from the finance department." Maya looked toward the door as Jordan walked in, looking calm but tired. Everyone's eyes were on him. Jordan sat down, folding his hands. Maya took a deep breath and spoke gently but firmly. Jordan, the evidence shows your account was used to move money out of the bank. Can you explain? Jordan looked around the room and then down at his hands. After a long pause, he spoke. I didn't want to do it. I was scared. They threatened my family. A hush fell over the room. Maya's mind raced. Who threatened you? What do you mean? Jordan swallowed hard. There's a group outside the bank. They said they would hurt my wife and children if I didn't help them. I thought I could find a way to fix it, but I was wrong. Maya felt a mix of emotions: sadness for Jordan's fear, anger at those who used him, and worry for the bank's safety. Jordan, she said softly, thank you for telling the truth. We will do everything we can to protect your family. But we must stop this now. She turned to Nina. What can we do to track these people? Nina nodded. We are working with the authorities. We have started tracing the money trail, but it's complicated. Maya stood up. We need a plan. The bank, our customers, and the community depend on us. She looked around the room. I want full cooperation. No secrets. We will rebuild trust by being honest and strong. The days that followed were filled with meetings, calls, and long hours. Maya worked closely with the police and cybersecurity experts. The stolen money was hidden in many places, making it difficult to recover. But slowly, progress was made. One afternoon, Maya received a call from the police chief. We have a lead, he said. We believe the group behind this is connected to a larger criminal network. Maya's hands tightened around the phone. What can we do to help? We need more information from the bank's systems. Your team's cooperation is vital. Maya promised full support. Later that day, Maya met with her team. She saw tired faces but also determination. We are not just fighting for money, she said. We are fighting for our bank's future and for everyone who trusts us. Her words lifted the room. Meanwhile, Jordan began working with the authorities, providing details about the threats. Maya arranged for his family to be protected and supported. Slowly, the pieces of the puzzle started to fit together. One evening, as Maya was leaving the bank, she saw a group of employees gathered. They smiled and thanked her for her leadership. We believe in you, said Carlos, the IT specialist. You showed us how to be strong. Maya smiled, feeling warmth inside. She knew the road ahead was still difficult, but she was not alone. The community, her team, and even unexpected allies were by her side. She thought about the long journey, how from being pushed out of the bank, she had fought back with courage and heart. Maya looked up at the stars shining in the night sky. She whispered to herself, this is only the beginning. But I will never give up. And with that, Maya felt ready for whatever came next. The news of the bank's progress spread slowly, but it reached many ears. Slowly, the fear and confusion that had filled Unity Bank's halls began to change into hope. Maya could feel the shift each day, a little brighter than before. But the journey was far from over. Maya woke up early that morning with a quiet determination. The sun had not yet risen, but she was already preparing for a long day. The investigation was ongoing, and the pressure on her was greater than ever. Yet, instead of fear, she felt a fire inside her, a promise she had made to herself and to everyone who depended on her. At the bank, Maya met with Nina and the tech team. Have we found any new leads? She asked. Nina nodded, her eyes tired but focused. Yes. We discovered a hidden transfer trail. The money was moved through several small accounts, making it hard to track. But we found a pattern. We believe the criminals are moving funds to a secret location. Maya's heart beat faster. Can we stop them? We are working on it, Nina said. But we need more time and resources. Maya nodded. Then let's get them. We will not let this go. Outside the conference room, employees whispered about Maya's leadership. Her courage inspired many. Rosa, the teller who had once looked so worried, now smiled when she saw Maya. The staff felt a new sense of unity. In the middle of this hard work, Maya received a call from Mrs. Lewis, the community leader. Maya, she said, we want to help Unity Bank rebuild. The city trusts you. We are organizing a day where everyone can come to the bank, ask questions, and share their stories. Maya's eyes filled with tears. Thank you, Mrs. Lewis. That means so much. That evening, Maya stood in front of the bank, looking at the crowd gathered for the community day. People of all ages and backgrounds came, some with questions, others with stories of how the bank had helped them. One elderly woman approached Maya. You saved my family's savings when my husband passed away, she said softly. We trust you. Maya smiled warmly. Thank you for sharing that. I promise to work hard every day to protect that trust. As the day passed, Maya listened to many stories. Each one reminded her why she fought so hard. It wasn't just about the money, it was about people's lives. Back inside, Maya's team received more good news. The authorities had identified a location linked to the stolen funds. We are planning a raid, the police chief told Maya. It could recover a large part of the money. Maya felt a rush of hope. Thank you for your hard work. Please keep me informed. The night before the raid, Maya sat alone in her office. She thought about the long journey, the betrayal, the fear, the struggle, and how far they had come. Her phone rang. It was Jordan, the employee who had been forced to help the thieves. I want to thank you, Maya, he said quietly. You saved my family, and you never gave up. Maya smiled softly. We're all in this together, Jordan. Stay strong. The next day, Maya and her team waited anxiously for news from the police. Hours later, a call came. The raid was successful, the chief said. We recovered a significant amount of the stolen money and arrested several suspects. Maya closed her eyes, relief washing over her. The fight was not over, but this was a big step. That evening, the bank held a small gathering for the staff. Maya stood before them, her voice steady. This crisis tested us all, she said. But together, we showed strength and unity. We faced fear and uncertainty, and we kept fighting. We will continue to rebuild, to grow, and to protect the trust placed in us. The room erupted in applause. For the first time in weeks, smiles and laughter filled the air. As the night ended, Maya looked around at her team and felt proud. Not because of money or success, but because of the heart and courage everyone had shown. Walking home under the stars, Maya thought about the future. Challenges would come, but now she knew she had the strength, the team, and the community to face them. From the ashes of the crisis, Unity Bank was rising, and so was Maya. The sun rose gently over the city, casting warm light on Unity Bank's building. The long storm was beginning to clear. Maya stood by the window in her office, looking out at the busy streets below. People were walking with purpose, cars humming, life moving forward. She smiled quietly. After everything that had happened, the bank was alive again. The past weeks had tested her in ways she never imagined. She remembered the moment security had pulled her out of the bank, the shock and pain of losing billions of dollars, and the hard days filled with fear and doubt. But now, Maya felt something stronger: hope. Unity Bank had started to recover. Many of the stolen funds were returned thanks to the police raid, and new security measures were in place. The employees had come back to work with courage and pride, ready to rebuild the trust of their customers. Maya knew the road ahead was still long, but she felt ready to lead. That morning, the board of directors gathered in the conference room. Maya stood before them with calm confidence. She shared the updates, the lessons learned, and her plan for the bank's future. We will continue to strengthen our security, but more importantly, we will build stronger relationships with our customers and community, Maya said. Trust is earned through honesty and action. We will be transparent and open. The board members nodded, impressed by her clear vision and steady leadership. After the meeting, Maya stepped outside and saw a group of employees waiting to talk. Rosa, the teller, smiled and said, "Thank you for never giving up on us, Maya. You made us believe again." Maya's heart warmed. We did this together. This is our bank. That afternoon, Maya attended a small ceremony organized by the city. Community leaders, customers, and employees came to celebrate Unity Bank's new chapter. Mrs. Lewis took the stage first. Unity Bank is more than a business. It is a place of hope and support. Thanks to Maya's courage, we see a brighter future. Maya spoke last, her voice full of gratitude. This crisis taught me many things. Most importantly, it showed me the power of unity, of standing together in hard times. I promise to lead with honesty, respect, and care for all who trust us. The crowd applauded warmly. As the ceremony ended, Maya walked through the crowd, shaking hands and sharing smiles. She noticed Jordan, who had returned to work after the crisis. He looked tired but hopeful. "Welcome back," Maya said kindly. Jordan nodded. "Thank you. I want to help make this bank stronger." Maya smiled. "That's what we all want." Later, Maya returned to her office. She looked around the photos on her desk, the notes from employees, the quiet hum of a bank ready to heal. She picked up a small framed picture of her family. Her thoughts drifted to their support during the hardest days. She felt grateful. Just then, Sam, her assistant, knocked and entered with a smile. "There's a message from a customer. They want to thank you for saving their small business." Maya's eyes softened. "Tell them thank you. It's their trust that drives me." The phone rang again. It was Mr. Harris. "I heard about the ceremony," he said. "You've done an amazing job, Maya." She laughed softly. "It wasn't easy, but I learned a lot." He paused. "Remember, leadership is not just about success. It's about lifting others and rising when you fall." Maya nodded. "I understand now more than ever." After the call, Maya sat back and reflected. The crisis had been painful, but it had also brought new strength. She had discovered the power of community, the importance of truth, and the courage inside herself. Maya knew this was not the end. Challenges would come, but with her team and her community, she was ready to face them. The future of Unity Bank was bright. And so was hers.